Hey there and welcome to this quick and fairly simple tutorial on how to integrate Gravity Forms, which is one of the most powerful and advanced form processor plugins for WordPress, with Thrive Leads, which is one of the best, if not the best, plugin for doing things like lightboxes and capturing leads in a WordPress environment. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. So if you've ever tried to connect Gravity Forms and Thrive Leads before, this might be a familiar scene. You're setting up a lightbox or a screen takeover, and you input the Gravity Forms shortcode right in there, and you see a really ugly, almost broken looking box. Not only does this shortcode not look very good because it's not stylized, depending on your theme, you'll still see the placeholder text or even a bullet point list, but it also doesn't function properly. If you try to fill out this form and submit it, sometimes it won't redirect to a thank you page properly, or it won't open up another window, won't do any of the things that you've told Gravity Forms to do. And for whatever reason, it just doesn't integrate nicely when you use a shortcode. So I've come up with a workaround that will allow you to use the native Thrive Leads form fields with Gravity Forms and have it still execute all of the Gravity Form settings that you've set up on the back end of your form. To get started, I'm going to assume that you already have Gravity Forms installed and you already have an active license and that you've created a form. For my form I have a confirmation that will send the form, the person that fills out the form, to a thank you page, and it will notify me via email. And that's fairly simple. This is something that you would find on like a contact page or a form to learn more information or something like that. And in fact, this might be the exact same form, but you just want it to come up in a lightbox so that you can use it on a lead page, landing page, or a home page, or something like that. For whatever reason, you're wanting to integrate that form with Thrive Leads. So assuming that you already have your form set up exactly how you like it, we can just go ahead and take a look at my form really quick. All I've done is create a form that has a name, email, phone, and kind of a how can we help message box. And for each of these fields, I recommend you go in here and you go under the Appearance tab and you put placeholder text. Doing that right now will actually make it very easy to just cut and paste our form into Thrive Leads later on. So once you have each of your forms set up, your form fields set up so that they have a placeholder text, and you have your form configured properly in Gravity Forms, now it's time to jump over into Thrive Leads and set up a form. So when setting up a lightbox and using Gravity Forms, I like to use the Thrive boxes. So let's go ahead and create a new Thrive box, and it doesn't matter what you call it because this is only on the back end. We can just call ours, Thrive Forms, or Thrive Leads, Gravity Forms, or G-Form. And then we just go in here and we click on the Edit button and then create a form. And again, you can call this whatever you want. And then click on the Edit Design button. And now we get to choose a template. And again, you can come up with any template that you want. You can choose a blank template, or you can choose one of these pre-configured ones. I tend to like the set002 v1 just because I feel like with Gravity Forms it gets me a lot of space. Or even the v2. So for this tutorial, let's use the set002 v2. That gives us a little bit more room for our form. So this already looks a lot better. The form already looks nicer than the Gravity Form did, and I want to use this style of form. So now what I want to do is I want to go back to that form that I created in my Gravity Forms. So when you hover over the form, you want to click on the Preview button, and this is going to bring up kind of like, a preview, or in my opinion, a not so pretty looking version of your form, but we're not really concerned with that. What we're concerned with is right-clicking and clicking Inspect. This is going to vary depending on your browser. I'm using Chrome, and I have Inspect enabled. That could be under the developer tools, but just simply right-click and click on Inspect. And you're looking for something that says Form Method. So this opening form tag. You don't need to understand anything about that, but you want to right click on it, hover over Copy, and click Copy Element. Now that you have that copied, go back to the form that we were working on, click on it, and on the left hand side we want to click Connect Form to Service. Now this is normally where you can set up a form to connect with something like MailChimp or Constant Contact, but we want to click HTML form connection because we're not going to connect to an API. And now click into the box and paste in that code that I just had you copy and click Continue. Now instantaneously you can see that our form is actually exactly like our gravity form. Thrive Leads has automatically taken the HTML form code and automatically, thanks to the new powerful Thrive Architect, even given us things like placeholder text that we set up previously and automatically configured our form. So now if there's any adjustments that we want to do, we can simply just click on the form itself, and on the left-hand side, click on things like Edit Form Elements. And using the new Thrive Architect editor, which I think is even included with Thrive Leads, you can simply click on any field that you want to edit, and if we wanted to, we could change the placeholder text to anything that we want. It can be called your name, and you'll see that it automatically updates. Also, we can choose to apply changes to all similar elements using this checkbox right here. Let's say I wanted to make the text a little bit bigger. I could change it to 18, or I can click and drag here, and you'll see that the text automatically updates in my form fields. Let's go ahead and set that back to 16. So once you like how this looks, you're going to want to click Save and Close, and you're done. After that, just simply in the bottom left, click Save on your form, and now it's time to test it. So let's go here and click Preview. So once it looks just right, we have a perfectly working gravity form implemented into the Thrive Leads platform. Now it's time to implement this onto a page to make sure everything works fine. So now for the sake of this tutorial, what I wanted to do from the very beginning was to click on a button and have a lightbox come up with a gravity form. So I'm going to find the element, in this case a button, that I wanted to click or interact with to have that lightbox or screen takeover come up with my gravity form. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on that button and make sure I'm on the breadcrumb of the button, and I'm going to scroll down, and under the animation and action section, I'm going to identify this section, add new, and it's the second option here, and if I hover over it says pop-up, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on Thrive Leads Thrive Box because that is what I created, and I'm going to click on the proper form. In this case, remember we created Thrive Leads G-form, and I'm going to click Apply, and I'm going to save my settings. And now I can preview this page, and I can click on this button, and there it is, the perfectly created Gravity Forms Thrive Leads integration. And we can go ahead and test that in a second, but let's say that you instead wanted to just have your form embedded here and you didn't want to click on this button. I want to make sure I show you guys how that works too, in case that's how you want to use it. So you can just simply come in here and you can find the lead generation option, and you can click in and drag that anywhere that you want. And right now this just looks like a plain old boring default Thrive Leads generation opt-in field. And actually I'm going to do something different with that really quick. I'm going to put it in a content box because I think it ends up looking better if you can kind of constrain those outside borders a little bit. So I put the lead generation into the content box, and I'm going to constrain the maximum width so that it's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to scroll down here and center that element on the page. Now it's time to simply connect with service again, and we want to use the HTML form because we're not connecting to an API, and we want to paste in our same form code that we got from inspecting that preview gravity form and click continue, and right there in front of you the form automatically changes to input all of the proper fields and settings, and this form will also now work perfectly with gravity forms. So let's again save our settings and let's preview, and I'm going to show you that this actually works and redirects directly to my thank you page. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the one that I did here with the lightbox. Just going to enter in my information, and I'm going to now click submit. And there we go. It automatically redirected right to a thank you page that I chose and set up in my gravity forms, and it worked perfectly. And just to show you guys that that worked, let's go ahead and head back into our gravity forms, refresh our entry here. You'll see that I have some entries. One is going to be my test from before. There it is, Joe. That's the test that I put in for you guys, and there it is right inside of gravity forms. Now, if you had configured anything else with gravity forms, such as a Zapier connection or anything else with your gravity forms, it would have also worked perfectly. In fact, you could also have a plugin add-on where gravity forms then uploads instantly into your Constant Contact. And there's a lot of things that you can do with gravity forms that I'm not going to go into with this tutorial, but just know that they will all work because you've integrated with gravity forms. So now you can set up gravity forms and Thrive leads everywhere on your website, and you don't have to worry about having styling or knowing any CSS or coding. You can just use Thrive leads instead and simply integrate your gravity form there. I hope that you found this tutorial useful and that you'll now be able to go and create lots of Thrive leads, gravity form integrations all over your site to more effectively capture those leads and integrate with the services that you like. If you enjoyed this video, please by all means follow the channel. I'm going to be creating a lot of Thrive leads and Thrive theme plugin tutorials. And go ahead and like the video as well, and that will let me know that you guys want to have more videos like this. For a full write-up of this tutorial, you can go ahead and click the link that's in the description below this video and visit my website, marketerdoug.com, and read all the tutorials there on the blog. Thanks for watching.